Alright, Mara. So it's an auspicious day today, boys and girls. It's the grand weighing of the big veg. And as you've just seen there's a couple of examples. A big marrow and a pumpkin. But we're going to go and see a bigger pumpkin, hopefully, of Uncle Michael's next door. Magic Mick, the Tesla of the plots. He's got a whopper. Let's see what he's got. We're going up the golden path to glory. Hey, what are you doing to Mick's pumpkin, you?
Sever the umbilicus. I've seen it. It was only a plastic there. That's it. Got it? Yeah.
You want to wrestle with it there, mate? Got it.
Oh, keep that water. Yeah. There you go. Right. Good on, mate. Well done, lad. If it doesn't win, it should do.
Should do, should it? Could live in that.
Bit out of shape, but we're a close one, this, because he's with a bigger as well. So I'd have Barry. Oh, Barry, ex-Barry. He's healthy enough, doesn't it?
So hopefully we're going to get away with without getting caught in the thunderstorm, but it's touch and go, guys. The weighing starts at 10 o'clock and it's about 5 to 10 now. And I can feel a couple of spits and spots. So we'll see how we get on. Look at that for a lettuce. Woo!
So I'm going to take most of this out and then put fresh in and then...
This is Jonathan's selection. The committee guy's got to go down with the contestants, if you like, and cut them. So they've got to be growing up until the point where they're just ready for the weigh. So that's a good, it's a good 5 feet across. That's a beast.
We'll see, we'll see.
So do you have to keep feeding it as well?
Yeah,
It's a courgette. Thought mine were big, but that's even bigger, isn't it? And that's an onion. That's a fair-sized onion, that. I mean, they're not the biggest in the world that you'll ever see, but for these plots up here in northern England, it's not too bad. A couple of nice tomato there. It's exciting, Tommy. Correction, guys. I'm just looking at that, and that's a cucumber. Flipping Nora. I mean, we've had longer beans in the past, but I've never seen a cucumber on these plots that size. That's got to be a 2 foot easy. I bet that's about 28 inches, that. And the girth is unbelievable. The Hulk would be proud of that.
No, that's what.
So that one was a £40, and that one's just been weighed. I just missed it because the tractors were going down the bottom. And that was a 60.
What's this, the smelly one?
Kilos, 40 kilos.
40 kilos, 87 pound. 40 kilos, 87 pound. Steve!
That's John's, that one. And here's Mick's. We're thinking 95. £87, 40. It's 40 kilos, yeah.
Mine was 30. Was it 32 or 33?
That's me, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think it was 50 odd this week.
If I'd asked that little, who's this, that John?
take it away.
Or is it a big rat?
I claim it if he has a heart attack, yeah. Claiming off me. I'll give him a bag of tomatoes.
Some Reba.
Get a nice little bowl in this now.
Like you, even when he's like that.
Easy, steady.
Take it down slow. 92, 93. If you get on, let's get out ladder. Get out ladder and look at it that year. 92, yeah. 92 kilos.
Well done, mate.
Alright.
92 pounds.
92
42 kilos, 92 pounds.
So Mick's won the pumpkin. Well, the other guys are nice guys. They're all nice guys.
You've got a win pin.
What's that about 6.5, 7?
Kilo.
1.5 pound. 1.5 pound.
Better off it than he is.
£1.5.
Yeah. If I was here now, I'd be going miles away. Just ignore it.
What weight was it?
I thought it was 1.5 pound. What's that one? The kilo.
Pound. Come on.
How much?
Come on.
How old big is that?
1.5.
Pound?
Yeah.
I bet they don't weigh that always though.
There you go.
Weigh that.
So obviously there was contention about that. It was 5.5 kilos. We put it on the smaller scales, the electronic scales, and yeah, 5.5 kilograms, which is around about sort of 13 pounds, 13.5 pounds. Is it? It's about 2.2 pounds to a kilo. So yeah, something like that. Around 13 pounds in weight. And then the other ones that Lewis has got, he's got 3, and I think the heaviest one of these was 2.5 kilos. But there's something like we were growing, the whopping ones that we were growing, although they are a little bit bigger. That's Steve Babbitt's again, 20.7 ounces. That was the winner. We're doing the onions.
2.41 kilograms.
2.41 kilograms.
Yes, 2.41 kilos.
Just over £5, isn't it?
So the big onion was 5.512 pounds, or 2.5 kilograms. And that's a butternut squash. Jonathan's just measuring his long beans.
25 again. 25.
I had some, we were touching 40 inches before them you had long ones put them off.
So there we are. Not many entrants this year. I think there's about 3 or 4 people went in this year for it. And we've never entered anything into it, but it's good fun. And I'm thinking about doing it next year. Maybe trying it. Not on the pumpkins. But potentially cucumbers or something like that. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, we just do it for food, really. We don't do it for shows or anything like that. There are people who specialise in big growing, but we've never done that. But yeah, it's a bit of a laugh, isn't it? Mick's got the pumpkin, the big pumpkin. I think Jonathan got the cabbage. That was 62 or just over 60 pounds. I think that was the big cabbage, and yeah, the marrow was. What was that, 40 something? I can't remember. Yeah. Anyway, let's see what we've got to harvest. All right, so we're in Cheeky Tunnel number 1, the big original Cheeky Tunnel, and I'm just getting some Sun Gold tomatoes, some more Sun Gold tomatoes. for the salads. And they're lovely. I'm getting a little pot of them there, look. Picking them off. Because they're getting a bit overripe, some of these in here, so I'm going to take a few of these out. These will be ready for coming out shortly. But I'll show you what's been planted this last week. JC's been up and he's planted up some veggies for us. So I'll let you have a quick look at that, and I'll show you what we're harvesting as well. All right, catch you in a bit. So, starting up at the top end, we've got this side, and I believe John's split it down, this bed. This is the clear twin wall polycarbonate greenhouse that I built up at the top. We've got mini col on that side, which are the small cauliflowers, and then on this side the cabbage, which again I'm taking it as a smaller variety of cabbage on this side. And that's all in that bed, which is about a 20-inch by 8-foot bed, that, and there's plenty in there. They're all stocked in. So we planted those up this week, brought them down in the week, and they're looking all right. They're looking nice and healthy in here. We'll just have to keep an eye on the slug situation as ever. But yeah, hopefully they'll be okay in here. They could potentially be transplanted if they do start to grow a bit bigger and thinned out and put in this side. That's an idea. We could potentially do that. You know, de-weed yet again in there, which is your bindweed. Get that out and replenish that soil with the horse manure. He's going to go down with Mick in the week. He's getting some for Mick from the stables. They're getting a trailer full, so I'm going to see if Mick can get us some as well, potentially. Cause I made a bit of a boo-boo when I bought the car, because it's got a boot. It's not a hatchback. But it's nothing we can't sort out, boys and girls, is it? That. And that's going to be cleared away shortly as well. We're going to get that the composting area set up. That's for sure. These are winter jobs, though. I'll talk about winter jobs on another episode. But the actual plot's looking good at the moment. It's looking nice and clear. Which was a big bugbear for us. Now in here we've got the lettuce. Again, that's a sort of a late variety. Could be an all the year round job, that one. But that's going in here. We've got another bed there that we can free up. And this bed, once those tomatoes come out, and we'll get some more vegetables in here. I know we've got he's got chard as well to put in, but there's loads of this lettuce that he's put in this week. John, top banana that he is, same in here. These tomatoes, because it's the first time I've grown them this year, these tomatoes are a bit of a quandary, because just as you think they're getting right, they burst. And they get that pinkish colour. I think I'm going to have to keep a good eye on these and take these off as soon as they get to that, so get a bit of pink on them. Because as you can see there, they're bursting and the fungal growth starts more or less straight away, and you get the little fruit flies coming on them, which is no good. So I'm having a look at these now this afternoon. We're going to see if we can get these sorted out in here, because there's a few of them that have still yet to start blushing up, and then there's some of them that I believe may be okay for taking. That might be alright for taking. Let's see if we can get him off. I can get my snippers out in a minute. I think that'll be alright, because they get to a certain size and a certain shade, and then they just split like that. These ones. And that is no good, boys and girls. They're good looking tomato though, aren't they? Right, so we've got some cauliflower, some cucumber as well. Oh, excusez-moi. There's a good one. It's not going to win any prizes looking at that beast that they had up there, but that's a decent cucumber for taking underneath there. These have been really prolific this year. We must have had about 20 or 30 off here, off each plant. It's been ridiculous. I've been bringing home about 6 or 7 a week, and although my kids like the cucumbers, they're not that mad on them. You don't want to overface them, sort of thing, and make them so as they don't want to eat the cucumbers. They are eating them, but we've got about 3 left in the fridge. I've been eating them. The missus doesn't particularly like cucumbers as a rule, but the kids do, both my lads do. So I'm going to take that cucumber off. And there's a couple of little ones that may make the cut over this side. So I'm going to water up before I go. Although I think John's watered up by the look of it today. I watered up on Wednesday, I think, when I came down. And there's some pickly ones knocking about as well. I'll take those. The pickly ones. At the back there, we'll have them. Okie dokie. Moving down the plots. See that one there as well. I took that one off and I was going to just compare it to the ones that they had up there. It's not as big as the ones that they've got up there. But that's burst as well, burst its britches. In here. This bed on the left hand side is going to be for red onions. John started some red onion seeds off, so they'll be ready for going in them in about, I don't know, a couple of weeks' time. And they're big enough. That side, the cabbage on that side, that's a roundhead cabbage. Previously we had the pointy hispy cabbage in there. So that's had two, that should have 2 crops of cabbage this year, all being well, fingers crossed. And that was watered up the other night as well. Moving down. On this side, this is our butter beans. So some of these butter beans are going to be ready for taking. So I'll have a root through there, see what we've got. You have to look under the leaf and you'll see them hiding. But yeah, we'll have butter beans off that, and we've got some lettuce there. I'll give that a watering as well before we go. He's planted more lettuce in this week as well, I've seen, because some of it was getting chewed on. So he's put the pellets in. We weren't going to put the pellets in, but we have done. Or John has done. And fair plays, because you don't want the slugs having everything you've got, do you? But yeah, and there's, I believe, spring onions in there as well. In that bed. More beetroot. The elf beans, which are the climbing French beans. There's quite a few of those that need taking off, so I'm going to harvest some of those as well today. I'll show you that in a minute. And we've got more beetroot, but we need more jars to put it in. I've got the vinegar, the salt, the sugar. I've got all that, but I haven't got the jars to put them in as yet. But as you can see, it's filling up the beds with this lettuce. And we're going to be getting chard and stuff like that down as well, which I'll show you shortly. Trying to get some winter veg in this year, guys. But yeah, the butter beans are quite chuffed for getting butter beans. That's good. I like butter beans. Farmer's moving his gear. My car's on that road, so fingers crossed it doesn't get scraped. C'est la vie, live and let live, boys and girls. This has all been trimmed back as we saw the other day, so all that's gone down there, the bushes have been trimmed back down. John's taken out the remaining rhubarb as well. That's been cleared away and weeded. Just going to have to keep an eye on the weeds, aren't we, and keep on top of them. I might do that in the week, actually, get all this cleared off. I'm going to harvest these as well, because what's happening with the pears is you're getting flies and wasps coming on them. I saw one before, there's one there I think. Yeah, that's been bug bit. So I'm going to take all these off. In fact, I'll do that now. A decent half bucket full there. Conference pears, these are. Just need a wipe off, and then we'll let them ripen up over the next week or so they'll soften. And then they can either be eaten as they are by the little one, or we might make a pie with them. Apple and pear. The world's our oyster. Now, if I remember rightly, I had some main crop spuds in here, but I never checked them. I never saw what the quality was like or anything. And this is the pallet bed at the front, the sort of 3-stack pallet bed at the front, which 2 stacks of is full of compost and whatnot, and hopefully spuds. I'm going to take a look. There's definitely some spud action going on there. A couple of them are bursting through. Now, I'm not 100% sure what the variety was, because I'm a silly sausage and I didn't mark these up. But I'm going to have a look. We've got the 3 there. Now we need quite a few spuds this week, so I'm going to dig up the 3 plants and see what we've got. But I'm pretty sure that they were main croppers, but I'm not 100% sure what they were. I think they might be Maris Piper. Let's take a look. Ulster prints they were. I've just had a look, and they were shallow planted as well. I think the lady farmer planted these and she only planted them down about 4 or 5 inches because the seed potato was about 4 or 5 inches down. When I've dug them out, there's one of them. It's a fully spent seed potato, I'll give it that. But it was only about 4 or 5 inches down, but that's what we've got from the 3. And that's quite nice splitting it there. Not being forks, it's just split that, so it'll have to be heading. And it will be heading very shortly. But yeah, not bad. Fine French beans, and I bet you're looking at that thinking, where's the beans? They're hiding. That's where they are. They hide in the foliage. Look at them. There's plenty on when you look through. They're all dangling there, and they've been covered over, as you can see, by the foliage, and so that they are invisible to the naked bird who's having a look for them, or whatever critter wants to have a nibble on them. But there's plenty on there, so I'm going to get some of them definitely. As you can see, as you look through, it's not like we're going to be short of them. We've got tons of them. So all I'm doing is I'm taking the longest ones off and letting the other ones grow on for a few more days. But they do have a ridiculous growth, these. You can see them in there. So I'm going to take a bit more than we need and give some to my mum and my sister, I think, because we're getting gluts of them. If you look through there, they're all the way through. I hope you can see they're all dangling through, which is good. And now's the time for picking them. We started them late this year. We always start them usually around March, start them off, but I think it was back end of June for these, you know. So they've only been growing for about 10 weeks or something like that, but they've come through nice. And so we're getting the later crop, the later harvest, which is always good. We'll be getting them off here for the next month, all being well. So here's today's harvest. So we've got butter beans in there, the Greek Gigantes butter beans. We've got the elf beans, which are the climbing French fine beans. Only take a few. You don't need loads because you'll not use them. You'll waste them. So take what you're going to be eating over the next couple of days, so it's nice and fresh. Spuds in there. Do believe that they are the Ulster Prince, those, which if you do leave them to grow on, become chippers like that one. Pears, conference. Let them ripen up over the next couple of days. About a week, something like that. They'll be nice and ripe and soft. Moving on, we have some beets in there. We have the beetroot. Detroit 2 beetroot, that. Got loads of beetroot still, and we've got more coming there. Sun Gold, not 100% sure whether they are the black beauties or what, but we're having them because they're ready. They're getting a bit soft now, so they'll be in a curry along with the onions this week. So those are the three of the onions that we had stored up at the Tiki Tunnel 1 on the racks, and some cukes as well. A couple of nice eating cucumbers ready for the kids to eat, and then some pickly ones we're going to be putting in the fridge ready for when we get our jars together and get them all pickled up then. So yeah, another day on the farm. Not a full day. I've done about 3 or 4 hours, done a little bit more weeding, done the harvesting. We did the filming up at the top there when they were doing the big veg and stuff like that, which is all good, innit? I've just been having a look at these in here as well. These are broccoli, and they're looking in decent shape. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to have broccoli heads off that come late September, early October. Get some more broccoli heads on and leave the leaves in. Just clear away the manky leaves and leave them for another month or so we can be eating the leaf off it as well. So jobs are good. Yeah, it's looking nice, it's looking good. I'm just going to water up the lettuce, or I might come back tonight actually. I'm going watching, what's it called now? The Equalizer. Not Edward Woodward, but the other guy. We're watching Denzel Washington in Equalizer 3 this afternoon. Me and Darryl Clark, star of stage and screen. So yeah, we're going over there to Lee. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed our little snippets from yesterday as well at Southport at the Air Show. I know it's not gardening, but it's just what we were doing. I just thought you might be interested. It's on again today, to be honest. But we're not going today, obviously. We went yesterday. It was a good day out. And take care of yourselves and each other. If you're a gentleman, you've been forthright, masculine and virile. If you're a lady, you've been fragrant, beautiful, intelligent, and all them kinds of things. And if you've been something in between, you've been something in between, and we love you all. Remember, keep growing with your heads down. I'll see you through the week. Sassy bye, and God bless. Ta-ra now, boys and girls. I was going to leave you. I'll leave you with a panoramic view of the domain. All right. And last but not least, the Tiki Hut. Have a good week, guys. I'll catch you later. Ta-ra now.